Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering. And I don't know, just thoughts over coffee today. Uh, Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Looks like we got a whole bunch of people in here, the chat. Um, Everybody likes the intro music. I love that intro music, too. I clipped that from a royalty-free... I'm looking for a pen, if you're wondering what I'm doing. I clipped that from a royalty-free clip a long time ago, and I just love it, and I couldn't tell you what it is. People are always asking me what it is. But kind of gets you in a heavenly mood. I think that's good. Didn't really know what to talk about today, and I don't know if anything's happened with the Trump situation and possibility of going to jail. We've been through this before, haven't we? I got my 1776 sweatshirt on today. I think that's appropriate. One thing I heard Gentel-wise when I asked this morning, if there's any good news, I heard that Russia, we want to keep our eyes on Russia still. Russia signed some kind of agreement that is positive. And I don't know if I heard correctly because it doesn't make any sense, but with Japan. So keep an eye out for that. I guess my thoughts over coffee, and it let me know in the chat if anything has happened yet with the Trump thing. Basically, he put out a message saying, this could be my goodbye message. I hope not. Let's go over to Telegram and so I don't misquote that. What did you say? Oh, my farewell message. I hope this isn't goodbye. Today's my gag order hearing. If things don't go our way, I could be thrown in jail. If that happens, I need you to know this. You are the reason I'll never stop fighting. You are the reason I'll never give up. And you are the reason I will never surrender. And my thoughts on that, whatever happens, the only way I could see something like that happening would be so that they could use it later against other ex-presidents and things like that. But I doubt it. I seriously doubt. You seriously think? Oh, my Siri just went off. I never use that thing. Now it's listening to me. Stop spying on me. Didn't even touch it. Do you seriously think that they would allow that man to be put in a cell or somebody could kill him? And if everything we believe is true, but there is an interregnum and he is in control behind the scenes of the military, and that he is the chief financial officer of the alliance. Everything's freaking out over here today. Try not to move. I think I'm too close to it. So if he is the chief financial officer of the alliance, what a great time to put him in jail, right? How interesting. They're never going to do that. I mean, what you take an ex-president and a current presidential candidate and you stick him in like general population in jail or prison or whatever it is. I'm not really familiar with the whole thing, but unprotected. What, did the Secret Service go with them? Is that how that works? I mean, how does that work? Ideas from the chat. It's not going to happen. There's no way. And even if on the news they say, "Oh yeah, he's in jail and he's rotting away and all this stuff," I seriously doubt that too. If the only way that's going to happen is that they can use it to their advantage somehow, and I just don't see it happening. No way. Not at this stage of the game. No way. So I did put some thoughts about it up on Telegram this morning, messing around. I get like all the way over there. Okay. So my thoughts this morning on Telegram. If you're not on Telegram, there are links to my Telegram in the comments of this show, and also to our chat room. That's the quickest way to get to me, besides email. I do not, and let me just look. I do not private message anybody on Telegram unless somebody in chat says, "Will you private message me?" And then if it pops up, that was me. Okay? Otherwise, it's not me. There's all kinds of scammers out there posing to be everybody and messaging you. And it's kind of funny, because my following are so smart and so funny. And they are messing with these fake gens. It's so funny. All right, so Trump. I said I do not believe he'll be thrown in jail. The problem with a secret commander-in-chief is that the corrupt justice system doesn't know. The problem with the secret chief financial officer of the alliance is that only members of that alliance would know. Those left on the dark side who do know want him in jail to demonize the movement. To allow a world war to begin, have him suicided, and stop the financial transition. When was last time? What happened last time we tried to do this? The whole Nassara-Jassara thing. Go to gold. Separate from the central banks. 9/11. I mean, does he still have to make a call on the RV? Does he have some kind of do it power? Is there something he needs to signal that needs to come out? Something he needs to say? We don't know. Is this the reason for the delay in the RV? Excuse me. It's pollen season up here. You're just going to have to deal with it. Massive allergies. Okay. Hang on. The bad guys at certain levels most definitely know that this would be one way of delaying or possibly sabotaging the process, the progress made by the alliance, when they have no other way out. Would the alliance allow him to be put in a situation where he was not protected or cut off from communication? The secret level communication? No. So the only way I see that happening would to show that the justice system is completely compromised. Even for him, somebody at such a high level, somebody running for president, what do you think happens to the everyday person? So the only way would be show that the justice system is completely compromised and allow them to publicly arrest others in high positions. So I wouldn't worry too much if we do see a situation like that. I doubt it, but if we did, it's probably strategic. I mean, where would they put him? Military base, house arrest? Can they take the Secret Service protection away? I don't think so. I mean, do you seriously think at this stage of the operation they would allow that? A man to be isolated and unprotected? There's no way. So at this point in time, we'll see what happens. But I'm pretty sure he won't end up in jail. It was interesting the other day. Oh, the guy that set himself on fire. That hit me. Not just that the dude set himself on fire. Come on. It's dramatic. But his reasoning for it is that the country's about to be taken over by some terrible coup. That's what makes me think that this guy was hired help. They know. The bad guys, they know. It's coming. And then we get the Gentel. We'll go through the Gentel because I put it out on Real News Live with Mike Barra yesterday. You can find that on Rumble. We're on every Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 10:05. I don't know why it's 10:05, but it's 10:05 Pacific time. And it wasn't good news. I was waiting to come out here with good news, like, yep, it's happening today, it's happening tomorrow, the RV, woohoo. The good news is that it is happening. That it has been delayed a little bit. Okay. And what I got, and I told you guys many times, sometimes when you're too attached to a situation, and especially with me, I'm always wanting to know that the message was clean. I didn't infect it with what I wanted to hear, and that can always happen, and it has happened. So Archangel Michael and Gabriel, Jesus, sometimes they'll use a term that they'll use wording, a term that I don't normally use. Sometimes that I don't even know what it means. I mean, why would I say something, put something in their mouth that I don't even know what it means? I mean, I knew it was, referring to a block of time, but I didn't know how long that block of time was when I asked, when will Iraq revalue their currency? And Archangel Gabriel said, in a fortnight. Or within a fortnight. I'm hoping I'm hoping that's what he meant. Like, within a fortnight. And I'm like, okay, fortnight. What is that, a couple days? And so then I'm like, hang on. And I got out of meditation. I went and I Googled it. And I came back in. And I said, a fortnight is a period of 2 weeks. I can't go up there and tell these people that. They're going to crucify me. Okay. Why? Why, I asked. He says, too many eyes on Iraq, pressure to revalue. It will be done in the dead of night when no one sees. So all of a sudden, just when you think nothing's going to happen, boom. Okay. They said there were undersea operations, needed more time, and there are threats in the Atlantic. Now, that part of it. Was it in the Atlantic or was it along the Atlantic? What's along the Atlantic? New York? Washington, D.C.? And I said, will this still happen? He said, no need to be discouraged. It will happen. They cannot sabotage the mission at this time or because of impatience at this point in time. And I know everybody's tired of waiting. So am I. So me more than anybody, because I have to keep coming out here and answering the same questions over and over for years, which I love doing. I do, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you get a little tired, get a little frustrated. This is probably the biggest test of patience that we've ever gone through, other than having children. If you've had children, then you learn that early on. Um, he said, "You will not miss." And I'm standing there like, he told me we're going to go to gold in May. Like, we're running out of time. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing 2 weeks of a delay? And he said, "You will not miss the chance to exchange." Okay. So whenever they pull the trigger, there's a series of events that have to happen, and that is one of them. But the gold timeline is delayed because this timeline was delayed. Now, does this have. There were threats to the public and high officials over the last weekend. Was that threats to Trump? Is that why he canceled and said it was the weather? I mean, unless there's like a tornado coming or serious, massive problem when you got all those people standing there and Trump's on a plane ready to land and he cancels. And then there was like a message that was played for everybody from him. Was it recorded? I don't know. And now we have this court date. And Sunday, I put on Telegram, like all of a sudden, and I didn't know if it was just because I stopped for a minute and sat down, stopped doing things around the house. But it was kind of like the feeling I would get when I was a kid, and I'd wake up, and I lived in San Diego, California, and an earthquake was coming. And I'd wake up like a minute before, or something would stop me in my tracks a minute before, and you just don't know what it is. Something's coming. I do that with weather too, like storm's coming, and it's a blue sky day, and all of a sudden this storm blows through, So it's kind of a natural instinct for me. And so Sunday I was sitting there, and it was almost like everything went eerily quiet in my perception, just way quiet. And it's like a feeling you can't explain other than something just happened or something's coming. And I commented about it on Telegram, and I was like, and everybody there, we were all expecting good news. So everybody was hoping it was good news. Yay, But there was that no emotion feeling. It wasn't like, oh, tomorrow's Christmas kind of excitement, it was something happened. So something happened. And it was something big. And everything and then I kind of tuned in. I'm like, okay, let's tune into like the world situation here. According, on this topic, what's happening. And it was just dead calm, dead quiet. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but something just happened. And then I go in Monday morning, and we're like, okay, there's a delay. But it is only a delay for significant reasons. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. We still want to keep our eyes on Russia and what Russia is doing. Because in the alliance, like, I think Russia's kind of like, how Trump's head of the financial part of it, making those decisions. Not all of them, but overseeing that. I think Putin is in charge of overseeing the military operations, like conflicts and changes there through those means. China's tied up in that. But we really want to watch what's going on with Russia. Anything comes out with that today. I'd like to tell you if they put Trump in jail, then boom, there it goes. But I did receive information, with the storm and all that and pulling everybody out of office. That'd be cool. Let's do that. That'd be, good entertainment. Let's do that. We've waited long enough for that. But I don't really think so. I kind of got a while back in one of the gentels that Russia would flip the switch, so to speak, on the storm. So, we're at a very critical place where everything's closing in and happening at once, and that's something you don't want to screw up. And that sucks, but that's where we are. All right, so let's go. Of course, I didn't put up thoughts over coffee or anything like that. I really should have somebody. I should have Susan in here producing for me, but that's kind of a hassle for her to do that all the time. Yeah, and you know what? 2 weeks. I mean, what were we doing 2 weeks ago? I mean, how fast did that go? Before you know it'll be over. I could hang in there. All right. Maybe Mike is ADHD. Probably. Like genius IQ. Okay, don't get me wrong. Very impatient. Yes, we all know exactly how Mike is, and we love him anyway. Mike Barra is what we're talking about. Okay. Let's see if we got any good questions here. I wish I could read them better. Big boss. My birthday's in 3 weeks. Yay! Happy birthday. No, that's the wrong one. That is the wrong one. My birthday's in 2 weeks. I'm not telling you how old I'm going to be because I've gotten to that place where I'm like, let's just act like that didn't happen. Here we go. Do you still see a man coming into my life? Now, we have to allow these people to come in. And so if you're not doing anything to leave a window open or a door and you're not working on, oh, yeah, I think you are. Suzanne. Shortly. You probably got like 4 to 6 weeks to prepare, woman. Okay. I can't really read these before I put them on the screen. I'm sorry, so I have no idea what I'm putting up there. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay. Next year. Next year. Has something to do with the availability of what he wants. Prayers for Diana, please. She was not feeling well last night. Everyone give Jen a thumbs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, please like and subscribe to my channel. I forget to do the self-promotion. Get into what I'm talking about. Oh, 63. Happy birthday on Friday. Mine is the 5th. 5-5. Cinco de Mayo. It's always Mexican food for me on my birthday. Yes, be in service to God. I don't know if I trust that post about Putin being rushed in for an emergency the other day. I mean, do people really have to get in the car and rush somewhere to receive information or do anything nowadays? I don't trust that. We had that happen before, and I'm not sure about that. So, oh, well, thank you, big boss. Yes, I do have a 30-minute special on right now for a reading on jenniferfallaw.com. Let's put that up there. Hang on. Get over here. There we go. That's the website. It's also in the um, comments, the write up of this show. There's a link. But I thought before, like next week, I scheduled long ago. My husband's birthday's on the 29th, mine's on the 5th. I scheduled the weekend between and the 2 weekends, which is going to be really nice off. Like really off. Like no shows, no readings. Of course, I'm still going to have to keep up with the emails, and I still have healings to do. Don't worry about that. But that's, you know, I can pretty much be disconnected. So I will be gone after Thursday this week. So it's going to have a nice little break. But my reasoning for that is that, that's probably around the time where I'm going to have to pay all the bills again. So I'm like, well, it's probably stupid to take it off then, but here, whatever. So I put a sale up. So if you love me, go and get one. And we will schedule it after the 6th of May when I'm back. And we'll just hit it hard and start doing lots of readings again. So that's the truth of why I put that special up. Got to think about it. Don't want to be totally broke. You don't want to be like so strapped when you got a week off. I mean, I'd like to do something. I don't really have anything planned. Probably just catch up on housework and not have to answer any questions. All right, so let's get back to chat. So go to jenniferfallaw.com. Oh, I also have the medical reading on sale. That is a medical evaluation head to toe. I call Jesus in and I take a look from the top of your head down and tell you everything that I see. And he'll point it out and I'll explain it in my way, not in medical terms, but it is really cool when he gives me medical terms and I don't really know what that means, and we Google it and it's correct, and then they go to the doctor and have it confirmed. I love that. So that is my strongest gift, is the medical intuitive, to be able to find the root of the problem so that you can take that information back to the doctor. Don't tell them the psychic told you. Just say, I'd like to have this tested. And that's how you do that. All right. Do you see me and my wife having our house built in the near future? Sorry. It's not that I can't read, it's that I'm just thinking as soon as you start asking me sometimes 2 things at once. 11 to 13 months. Break ground. 11 to 13 months. Yeah. So it is in 25. So no, I'm just looking at the time of year. So yeah, because he's talking about foundation work, groundwork, all that goes on. That actually takes longer than you think. All right. I know we're all gonna end up on the gummies someday. I swear to God. If this thing keeps going, I was thinking about it. I was like, I should get some of those gummy things everybody's talking about, but no. Who's this guy? Huh. Okay. I'm not even surprised. What surprises me more is that you have internet access in the psych ward. All right. This guy's over on, One of my mods for YouTube want to get him, please? All right. They've got a conversation going in chat over there. All right, let me do something here so I don't have to look at this idiot. There we go. Well, that'll ban it from me, but you guys still be able to see it over on YouTube. Okay. That'd be a good idea. That would be a good idea. Okay, so you do that, and you do rent that place for a couple years, and then you just kind of like, you sell it to somebody, and I think it's somebody that you know, and get out because you just don't want the hassle. Not that it would be a big hassle, but you're just like at that point, you're like, yeah, let's just somebody you know needs a house, and I think that's very nice, and I think you do something for them. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that on Mike's show. And there was a lot of information going around about that. And then we saw all kinds of weird behavior from the Federal Reserve. But just as we've got the interregnum with the presidents, okay, I'm starting to see that and understand that that's happening kind of a ripple effect all over the place. So you still have some kind of function going on with the Federal Reserve because of the dollar. But we also have the Treasury behind the scenes who will be contracted for the RV, who knows about the US note. So it's interesting situation. It's pretty complicated. Oh, Yellow Lab biscuit is very itchy. No, this is actually some kind of little tiny little bug or organism because I actually see like little bugs, and when I see that, sometimes it might be very something that you can't see that is irritating the skin. So about that. It's not fleas, something smaller, like mites or. It is happening from, I think, the grass. It's coming out of the grass or something. But it bites, these little tiny little bites, and that gets irritated. So I don't know. Maybe put the stuff on the back of the neck, and I don't know if that's bad. I haven't had to do it since I moved to Idaho with the dogs. I just don't see the fleas. There's no flea problem. It's really we're in the warmer climate in San Diego where we had the flea problem. I'd ask the vet about it. Quantum internet active by the end of this month. For certain things in certain places, so not completely, like not completely replacing what we have. Gabriel's saying that's be way too noticeable. By the end of this month, not completely. Now I can take a look, but if it's your decision that you're trying to make, the angels will not interfere with your free will of making that decision. Okay, because that's interfering with God's free will, because everybody is a piece of God. Okay. It's not because they've got this like rule book and like, oh, I'm sorry, that's rule number one. And we don't do that. There's a reason for it. Um, Dort. Oh, Dorothy. I think the chances are better that you're going to go to Wyoming. By the end of the year, Florida girl Deb wants to go to Texas. End of the year, end of the new year. Absolutely. Absolutely possible. So something from Scott. What do we got going? Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it, Scott. She was one of my ones I was doing free for people. So glad to hear your mother's doing better after that healing. In 2 months. Awfully specific there, Sandy. So there might be a little bit of moving around of the plans, but I do see that we you get one purchased. It might not be the first choice. I usually need full names to call somebody. All right, so okay. Let's see here. Takes a little time to do that. If you don't, I don't have a specific name. Just call their name and they come up. Well, Roger just wants to tell you that you're going to be okay. It's late, but you're going to be okay. Kristen find peace with the relationship with her biological father. Not completely. There will be communication. It will be better. There's a lot of deep, heavy stuff she's holding in. Okay, that she needs to kind of release. I get some counseling on that because she may be able to offer her some understanding on how to cope with those feelings. All right. Uh Mark stated that once we hit 30% of people being paid, we'd receive our notifications. How close are we? Well, I don't know. Fortnite? I don't know. Let's see. With the percentage, 28. You're talking about 30%. And I asked, what's the percentage now? 28. Oh, let's talk to Chester. Okay. He's waiting for that one. he's helping with this whole situation, like the paperwork, and he's trying to like pop thoughts into your head, but he needs you, and I know, but he needs you to calm down. That's what he said. And I know a husband should never tell a wife to calm down. It's not a good idea, guys. It's not a good idea. But um he wants you to calm down a little so he can get through. And then they'll be able to help you more with everything that you're dealing with right now. I'm just looking for something here. Oh, let's see what we got here. You see me in the same teaching career next year, or do I get to retire and do projects to help others? Clever. Um, you're not working next year. I do not see you teaching next year. I mean, although you do have a love of teaching, you adapt that in other ways. You incorporate that in your life somehow later on, but not as like a paid position. The projects part of it is going to take another like 14 months for approval. So that's what you guys need to know. You don't get approval like on the day. Okay. You submit. And what I've seen for the humanitarian projects is that they approve them in waves and batches. Okay. And so you'd be on the list and you're just waiting to hear when you get approved. Um, and then they set you up with some kind of project manager who um, knows that you're waiting, and I either do they contact? Yeah, they contact you and let you know what's happened, and that you can proceed. But there is a waiting period. They can't just have every give all the funds to everybody at once and go fix the world. It's it. No. All right. You doing a what, Jen? Doing a Freedom Trump ride in New York on Sunday. Oh, well, that'll be cool. Be careful. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's all right. I think you have good weather for it too. So I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think you're in danger with that. Again. Oh, did I? Okay, because most of the time I forget what I tell you people. Okay, there's just too many questions. There's just too many people. But regulars I'll remember. But that people do that a lot. They'll say, "Oh, that's what you told me." Um, I'm like, did I? Well, there's the confirmation again. A banning me will go. Okay. People talking about things. I know. Get a job, okay? Because if you can show up and spend all this time and have all these emails just jump from channel to channel just so that you can be a dick, something wrong there. Might be a little bit something wrong with you. Shake it off. Okay. Told me to shave my legs. Well, have you been passing up opportunities to be social? A lot of people are doing that nowadays. You can't just stay in your house. All right. You got to be open to it. And a lot of times, if somebody's coming who's like written in to be a significant person in your life, it has a lot to do with what's going on with them, too. If they decide suddenly to withdraw, it pushes the timeline off. This timeline thing's really interesting. Let's see where we're at now. Okay, so I feel like it's been summer for a while. So I think we're pushed off. And the delay may be kind of because of the RV delays. Not that you need the money to find a man, but a lot of people tend to hibernate and wait. And we got to stop doing that because we're like, okay, what? Like with me, I'll be like, okay, so I haven't gone on vacation for a long time because of all this stuff, maybe, so I'm tired of this. I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to go somewhere. And then like the way I think, well, that'll be the time when I should have stayed home. So we kind of all get this shut-in syndrome. We get this waiting problem where we're just like, well, should I go do anything? Should I live my life? Should I do that? And I think we should. I think we've done enough of that. I've had enough of that. But then the problem is some people are in financial situations where I'd like to get away and I'd like to go blow a bunch of money to have a bunch of fun. But, probably maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I just keep it in case something happens. So that's kind of like the side effect from all of this with the truthers. And then there's people that are in like bad situations. That at this point in time is not. I can't really. Well, let me try because I don't know when the school trip is. As of this moment in time and as of today, yes. Okay. A lot of times, so when you ask a specific question and the answer can be given, and it's not going to sabotage anything you're supposed to learn, it will be given. Now, if you're open enough to hearing the truth, then you'll get it. So that's the struggle. That's why it takes experience. It takes, you got to live it. You got to get it wrong. You got to get it right. You got to learn to listen. You have to step out of your own way to receive divine guidance. You got to take your hands off of something. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a very personal thing. And when there are so many human choices involved in one event, and somebody makes a choice, it would change that timeline. And so it's not that we weren't getting the truth the whole time, or just putting words in their mouth because that's what we want to hear. Just like someone who gets a reading and somebody says, "Oh, yeah, I see you getting a boyfriend in March." But that person got depressed or for whatever reason, ate too much, said, "Oh, I'm not ready for a boyfriend," or "I just can't stand people. I'm just going to stay secluded and I'm not going to try." Maybe they'll just walk through the front door. No, that's a choice that was going to move that timeline. You're going to jump onto a different timeline. So it's a very interesting the thing that I've been learning over the years because of our current situation. It's not an excuse. And I almost definitely can get it wrong. Just like yesterday. Kind of hoping that's wrong. But I don't think so. But I didn't want to come out here and tell you guys that. I actually went through a whole stress fit like right before the show. I'm like, I could totally ditch. I could ditch this show. I don't have to do this. I don't have to go out and give them bad news. Everybody's going to email me. There's going to be mean people in there. They're going to piss me off. And I don't know if I want to do this. And then I heard it's okay. Why give up now? And I'm like, you're right. Just run straight at the firing squad. Let's do that. So I came out yesterday and I told you there's going to be a delay. And it turned out okay. Probably because I, threatened the public when I told them don't come at me with your, but those are the days that you go through that people don't see. This is the emotional, like I'm not just a head talking on a video. A real person who's like, oh my God, go into meditation. Father, do you have anything for me? Do you have any hope for the people? I mean, where are we at? And then but I asked the question, when will Iraq revalue their currency? Got to be brave enough to hear the answer. And before I even go into meditation, before I do readings, before I do anything, I pray, God, help me be a clean vehicle for your healing, your answers, your stuff. Does that mean that I always am? No. Because there's things that I want. There's things I don't want. There's things I can handle that I can't handle. Got my whole own life going on over here. Sometimes you just got to be brave. And you got to trust in God. And you got to come out there and just say it. And trust that I've been led to do this, it's going to be okay. And that's something I kind of know, like my whole life. Why have I been led to this place, Father? In prayer, I'm saying, and it usually makes sense. In hindsight, it makes sense. And I have learned a lot over the years. Political topics, financial topics wasn't something that I did. To ask questions about world events is tricky. I read energy, the way it comes to me is I hear this, I feel this, I see this, I ask this question, I saw them say this, I heard this, I get a flash of an image, you have to translate all this information coming into I feel this way, and then you put it all together. When I go into meditation, I'm having conversation with the archangels, and I see them, and they see me, and we talk, but I have absolutely, over the years, you haven't heard about all the times that I went into meditation and was being taught things. One day I was standing there with Archangel Michael, I was asking a question. And that's why you have to communicate with them when you hear something. And I asked him a question and I said, okay, I heard this. Is this what you said? No, he said. Okay. Ask again. Okay, I heard this. Is this what you said? No. Okay, let's try again. I heard this. Is this what you said? No. And I'm like, spell it. Just spell it for me because I can't. So you can most definitely put your own words according to what you want and what you can handle and what you can't handle in their mouth because it is it's an energetic communication in your brain, your programming. Your brain will process that information and turn it into language. Your programming can alter that information according to what you can handle. And that is why you see many, many people getting all kinds of different information. Because even like psychics that are liberal. No, 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 this that's because they believe so strongly that they can't get out of their own way to hear the truth. And so over time you practice trying to get out of your own way so that you can deliver the truth. And when you walk in and you ask for the truth and it's something you don't want to hear, at some point you just have to accept it, go out there and put it out. Now, I don't know what the heck that is or something. He did say, I asked at the very end of the Gentile yesterday, could they still post a rate sooner? And he smiled at me and he said, yes. I'm like, okay. Okay, a little bit of hope there. Let's find. I'm always looking for the hope, man. Show me the hope, show me the happy, show me the beauty, show me the love. That's what I'm looking for. And I keep getting bombarded all throughout my life with all these obstacles that are pain and suffering and sadness and fear and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, yep, there's that. There's that. Let's push on through that and keep moving forward till we see the beauty and we see the hope and we see the happiness because it will be there. It will. And that's what we need to do right now. I gotta get going pretty soon, but think you'll ever get married again? No. Oh, do you think I'll ever? um. Well, it'll be very much like a marriage, okay, Diana. But you're not. You may not go all the way there. I don't blame you. I think it's Haniel. Haniel's on my team. I don't talk to him very often. Um, but he's there in the group. I believe the Archangel of Hope is Haniel. Pretty sure. Oh, thank you for that. That's nice. I need to change I need like beach in a bad way. I mean, I really do. It's funny because when I was in San Diego, we used to go to the beach and stuff, but I didn't really appreciate it. It was like, oh yeah, beach, let's go to the beach. But I didn't go as often as I would if I moved back now. But I got to wait a few years for that to get cleaned up. And California will get cleaned up. It will get better. I'll just wait for that so I can go back. Alrighty. Oh, there's a lot of information on the internet about archangels and what their specialties are, and there's a lot of similarities. Some people, some of the information conflicts. I really go off the information that I receive in meditation or have all these years, and then I go and Google it because I'm just like that. Like I have to know that I didn't make that up. So I don't go and research things first. I go get the information first, and then I go and research and see if it makes sense. And that's exciting. That is fun. Because when you go in and you know you didn't know that, and you find the answer, and it was right, you're like, yep, I saw that. I heard that. That really happened. All right, guys. Well, I don't know what's happened since we've been on the show, but we'll see. In a nutshell, what this feels like. And if you know anything about Donald Trump, this would make sense. And not that he's in control of everything, he's not. But it just feels like everything's getting set up all around the edges. Like the alliance has been moving in around the enemy, all around the edges, and everything's almost there. Right? Almost there. And there's a pause on this, and there's progress over here, but it's all inching its way in towards the middle. And that's kind of the way I see it right now. And it really supports the theory that everything would happen at once. You know, I mean, I don't really like everything happening at once, like as a rule, because it's just like too much to keep track of. But it's a nice distraction if everything would happen at once. But then we get to a point where we've had enough change and enough flip, and then we start this rollout. Okay, and I've always seen that, and they, you call it Nasara Jasara rollout, but it's basically to clean up all the aspects, all the areas of society. The pharmaceutical, the medical, the laws, the financial and the political. It gets a big cleanup right there at the beginning. Then they start moving in and going into all these other areas of our life and changes. And that was going to take years, this rollout. But what we're looking for is the initial flip, the initial change in the financial and the political, because that's what's stopping all the rest of the change that people need, in education, so that people can be well and actually be cured, and not just your illness used to sell medication. It's terrible. But let's listen to Mary Gold. Mary Gold prays for everybody every day over on Telegram. In our chat, she has her own. So if she's feeling divinely guided to say this, I would listen. In the blink of an eye. I think that's probably true. And that kind of matches up as we were just talking about the rate in Iraq, but it will be done in the dead of night when no one sees or no one's expecting. So it's just like we're all looking for surface information. Tell me when it's going to happen. Tell me when this agony can end. I need conclusion. But if Donald Trump and his position as chief financial officer, whatever you want to call it, for the alliance, is in charge of when those things happen, has final say, you're never going to see it coming. What has he said all along? Why do people tell him you're going to invade? when he's talking about military situations, he says, why would I ever tell you what I'm going to do? He'll tell you in a coded way. But I think a lot of times he's talking to certain individuals when he does that. So it may seem bleak and it may seem like nothing's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, boom. I bet you anything. That's what happens. All right. Well, have a good day. I'll be on Real News Live with Mike Barra on Rebel, in the morning tomorrow. And then I think I'm doing, if I have something cool to say, then I'll do Fallawsophy again on Thursday morning. But keep your eyes out. Keep an eye on Russia. And that's all for today. Thanks, guys, for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow.